Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Monday, the 23rd of September, 2024. I'm Sean Elmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.7% today to 8,153 points. It was the first negative session in 8 trading days. Consumer stocks fell most, led by Woolies and Coles. They both lost more than 3% after the corporate regulator alleged that the supermarket giants claimed they were dropping prices on hundreds of products when they were actually increasing them, thereby misleading customers. Ongoing concerns about the strength of the Chinese economy is putting pressure on iron ore prices, and subsequently the big miners fell today. Gold miners did well as the precious metal pushed a new high above $26.31 an ounce, and the uranium miners, including Boss Energy, Deep Yellow and Paladin Energy, surged after news that a major nuclear power plant in the US is reopening. The big banks were mixed. Webjet was the biggest laggard, falling 11%. That's after it demerged into 2 companies, Webjet Group, which has a separate listing on the ASX, and Web Travel Group. Story number 2, Fletcher Building, the struggling building materials group, says it expects sales volumes to fall by up to 15% in Australia and New Zealand. It was in the market, raising about 700 million New Zealand, that's 641 million Aussie, to shore up its finances and cut debts. Shares are expected to recommence in the next couple of days. There were some big contract announcements today. Engineering group Woolies share price fell nearly 1% after it signed a 5-year deal to provide services in Oman. Miner South 32's Hermosa project in Arizona has been selected for a $166 million award negotiation from the US Department of Energy. Its share price was flat. And defense shipbuilder Austal won a $152 million contract with the US Navy to support the delivery of 1 Columbia-class and 2 Virginia-class submarines. Its share price rose almost 2.5%. Also, a couple of smaller M&A announcements. Oncology company Telix Pharmaceuticals is expanding in North America with the acquisition of US-based RLS for an upfront cash payment of $230 million. And pathology company Helios is selling Loomis Imaging for an enterprise value of about $965 million. Story number 3, regulators in the federal government want to license crypto operators under corporations law, and the Albanese government is preparing legislation to require crypto exchanges to hold financial service licenses. That would set down rules for custody of digital assets to reduce risks for investors, in theory at least, and it would hit cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. The plan had been to release an exposure draft this year, but it's unclear whether the bill will appear before the next federal election, according to the AFR. Today, it held a cryptocurrency summit. Asset Commissioner Alan Kirkland was there. He said licensing requirements will extend beyond digital currency exchanges to operators, because ASIC considers most major crypto assets are already captured by the Corporations Act. Many crypto developers have not attained AFSLs based on legal advice. Their investment products were not captured by the current law. The point of this story, plenty going on. The crypto market is heading for more regulation. Story number 4, Melbourne's looking at its first $100 million home sale, with the Grand Toorak estate of the Meyer family up for sale. Cranlana has been owned by the Meyer family, founders of the department store chain, since it was purchased by patriarch Sidney Meyer and his second wife Merlin in 1921. The Edwardian mansion is being offered for sale by Meyer Family Investments, the private investment company established by Sidney and Merlin Meyer. That's according to a story in the Fin Review. Currently, MFI chair Sidney Meyer, definitely not the original Sydney, said that after more than 100 years of family ownership and with more than 80 member families' 5th generation expanding, the time had come to pass the keys of our home and its magnificent garden to a new owner and custodian. And story number 5, the US has directly warned Israel against a full-blown war with Hezbollah as the Lebanese militant group and Israeli forces engaged in some of their most fierce exchanges of fire since last year. In salvos capping a week of spiralling hostilities, Israeli jets mounted some of the heaviest bombing raids in southern Lebanon since the start of the fighting, while Hezbollah fired rockets towards the city of Haifa. The escalating attacks have fueled fears that the hostilities could tip into a full-scale land war. John Kirby, the US National Security Council spokesperson, warned Israel that there were better ways to ensure Israeli citizens could return to evacuated homes in the north than a war, than an escalation, than opening up a second front. That's all according to the FT. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 23rd of November, 2024. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Tuesday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Elmer. Enjoy your evening.